Another stressful one then. Another difficult watch right at the end. What was that final whistle, by the way? Even as an Arsenal fan, I'm watching the referee blow the whistle there and going, oh my God, what's he just done? I hope Bournemouth fans can just realise that this is just the Premier League standard of refereeing. This isn't because it's Arsenal. I promise you, we also get a lot of rubbish like that in our games. That was pretty shocking, though. They've got to be allowed to get the ball in again, right? But as an Arsenal fan, winning 3-2 with seconds to go on the clock, I will take it. And I think, I mean, we'll look at the stats and talk about the game, but I think realistically, the right result happened here. I think Arsenal did deserve to win this game. And it's because of one man. Guys, Declan Rice back in the team after missing the last one. And he was pretty good, wasn't he? I was actually watching this game with my friends, and it felt like, at least in the last kind of half an hour or so, every single time we won the ball back in our own half, it was Declan Rice. And I was literally saying it to them, look who it is. Look who it is again. Almost scored a hat-trick today. Yeah, we are truly blessed to have Declan Rice. We paid half price. This guy, he's one of those players that genuinely you look at and say, he was worth the 105 million pounds that we paid. Not many players in that category have lived up to the price. Okay, so we are very, very lucky to have him. And I was watching City the other day. It was actually the Sunderland game. Do you remember when Rodri came on in the last 20 minutes and he just changed the game completely? My first thought was, can you imagine if City did get Declan Rice? Because, of course, famously, is that the right word? They were also interested and they were bidding for Declan Rice. So I don't even want to imagine a midfield of Declan Rice, Rodri, and, well, I mean, they could put whoever they want next to them. It wouldn't even matter. They are just fantastic midfielders, and they're very good in their own ways. Rodri, for me, is the better defensive midfielder, orchestrator, whatever you want to call him. And then Declan Rice is the ultimate box-to-box. He truly has made that number 8 role his own, seeing as at West Ham and when he first came to Arsenal, he was our number 6. He was sitting in the midfield of 3 in the middle. And now he effectively has, I mean, I'll show you guys on the pitch here. So Declan Rice always kind of starts on the left centre mid position. This whole area of the pitch is just his. He dominates it. So other things that I want to talk about today, we have to talk about Gyökeres again. This was the game for him, in my opinion, and we'll mention why. We need to talk about Zubimendi, who had a much better second half, but did not look right in the first half. Gabriel's mistake, but then redemption. Ødegaard's form, and also Madueke versus Saka. We got to see both of them today. Okay, Gyökeres. Let's talk about Gyökeres. What do I mean by this was his game? I think the Vitality Stadium it's the smallest stadium in the Premier League, but is it the smallest pitch? I think it might be one of the smallest pitches. That really suits Gyökeres, I think. He's such a machine of a player. And I think with shorter distances, he could have really made an impact. And to be fair, on the, is it the second Rice goal? I think it was the second Rice goal. No, the first Rice goal. Sorry, yeah, the second goal was Saka with the assist, wasn't it? But in the first Rice goal, Gyökeres is at the heart of it because the ball gets lobbed into him and he's holding off 3 defenders. And it's not his touch that falls to, who was that? Oh my God, my brain might have just switched off slightly. Gyökeres, he made that goal happen. Okay, and that's what you want from Gyökeres. If he isn't going to score, you want him at least getting involved, using his physicality. He's an absolute unit, and he did that very well. But unfortunately, guys, that was it. And yet again, hooked for Jesus with 25 minutes to go. And it's another subpar performance. What do we say? Well, I mean, it's not good enough, is it? It isn't good enough. We didn't necessarily look better with Jesus this time. I thought Jesus came on and, he had minimal impact, being honest. Although there was one moment, it was down here, this side of the pitch, around this position here, just outside the box, and he's had his foot literally held by a defender. We didn't get any replays of it. The referee wasn't interested. And I'm looking at that and just thinking, oh my God, the refereeing is so bad. But I think Gyökeres really needed today. He really needed to do something today, and he didn't. And Havertz is edging closer and closer to full fitness. He wasn't involved today. Didn't even get on the bench as far as I'm aware. No, he didn't. So he was on the bench in the last game. Clearly they felt maybe like they didn't need to have him included today, or maybe there's a minor setback again, so another 3 months maybe. But to me, as soon as Havertz is back to full match sharpness, I fully expect him to be our starting striker. I really do. And I think for Gyökeres to get into this system, into the Arsenal first team, it will be because he's now the finisher for us. He will come on with half an hour to go. And maybe that could be the key to really kick-starting his Arsenal career. If he can come on, get a couple of goals in a few games where legs are tired, he's fresh, he's strong, maybe that will be the key. I thought Madueke had a really, really decent game. He didn't get an assist, but he basically created the first goal, showed a lot of confidence taking on this man, and I really, really appreciate with that type of winger, we've got something different to Saka. We really do have similar but opposite. You know, you've got two left-footed inside forwards, both that are good at creating and scoring goals, but Noni is definitely more direct, whereas Saka is a little bit more creative, and he's obviously a little bit more experienced. He's played a lot more minutes than Madueke in the Premier League, that's for sure. I can appreciate both. And I, for one, do not like Saka slander. This guy carried our club for years now. He is my starter every game, no questions asked. He's earned enough time, you know, in the bank to be our starting right wing no matter what. He can put in 5-6 stinkers in a row, don't care. He's my starting right winger because he does produce that magic, and he obviously got his assist when he came on. But it is fantastic squad depth, isn't it, with Madueke there? And again, we've brought it up many times, haven't we, throughout this season, especially when Madueke was doing so well before his injury, that don't forget, he was the signing that everyone kind of scoffed at, like, oh, Madueke, why have we signed him? Well, this is why. It's good to have two options. Ødegaard back to his best, like I said. Fantastic again today. He got one assist, could have easily had two. He got the pre-assist for the third goal. Really impressive. And quickly on Zubimendi, you know, I don't want to dig into him because he has been incredible this season for us. I think he might have had a bit of a heavy night New Year's Eve. I don't know. That first half, he was sluggish. He was giving away the ball, but he vastly improved in the second half, and I was really happy with that. Do we need to talk about Declan Rice? I mean, no. Man of the match. There you go. Sorry, player of the match. Sorry, can't say man of the match. Timber, excellent. Saliba, very good. Hincapié, erratic, but very good. But let's talk about Gabriel, because the mentality he showed in that first half, I'm still completely unaware of what he saw. He gave away the ball, a gift for Evan Nilsson. It's another reason why I think we deserve to win today. I mean, one of Bournemouth's goals was literally given to them, and their second strike was just unbelievable goal from Krupi. And I would argue that Raya's just, if he was a bit taller, if he was a little bit taller, he saves that. But Gabriel, the way that he reacted to that mistake, and then, I mean, the redemption arc, scoring the equaliser, cancelling out his mistake. Obviously, you don't want to see that from your centre-back, giving away the ball like that, but it's such a rare mistake from Gabriel. And if anyone is allowed an error or two right now, it's Gabriel. He's been rock solid for us at the back today. But it's fair to say that the record that Chelsea set for the least amount of goals conceded in a league campaign, it's not under any threat anymore, that's for sure. I believe we've maybe got 2 more or something, and there's obviously still a lot of games to play, but was really happy with Gabriel. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, when we scored, just look out for Raya. It is hilarious, his celebrations. Ramsdale was the same, to be fair. But yeah, when you look at the stats, you'll see that, you know, Bournemouth created more expected goals. They had more shots. But what you won't notice, potentially, if you're looking at just the top stats like this, if we go into the actual stats, whilst we had less shots, which is rare for us, less shots than the opposition, they were better shots. They were better chances. And that is just not Arsenal. I feel like, we don't shoot enough as it is, but when we do, they're often just such kind of low quality chances and there's just lots of them. I think there's been a significant change in recent weeks. We were far underperforming XG. We were getting, 8 expected goals and scoring 1. It's not good enough. So I think there has been a bit of focus on creating higher quality chances. And I think that's what we saw today. And Declan Rice, whilst they're relatively simple goals, they're great finishes, but those go in more than they don't go in, if that makes sense. They're high quality chances where you've got a goalkeeper that's kind of stranded. Defenders are on their back foot. They can't quite stretch to it, and all he's got to do is tuck it in the corner, whereas relying on a shot from 20 yards to go through a whole box of players and a keeper that's placed well. It's just higher quality, more chance of it going in, and we created multiple of those. So I don't look at XG in a game like this and go, wow, the wrong team won today. It's just not the case, and that's the problem with stats. And XG doesn't always represent the game completely. But I do want to say fair play to Bournemouth. I know they haven't won in a considerable amount of time now, but it's just a matter of time before they start firing up again, and they will, still be absolutely fine this season. But after 20 games, guys, the pressure really is back onto City. We've got a nice gap now of 7 points. If Chelsea can beat them tomorrow, which I think is very unlikely, especially with what's going on, having lost Maresca, and I think they've got their under-21s coach in charge. I heard a rumour. One of my mates said apparently he wasn't allowed into the first team building because his security tag thing wasn't upgraded. It's like, oh my God, this club cannot be ran any worse, can it? And Villa, of course, bouncing back today means that City are in third. So big game for them tomorrow. It's at the Etihad, isn't it? Yes, it is. So it's fairly obvious what's going to happen, but we can pray. I will be a Chelsea fan tomorrow. And then, of course, after that, we take on Liverpool, and that's a huge opportunity to, again, set a bit of a precedent, a bit of a standard, a statement saying, no, Liverpool, they're not good enough this season. We're going to beat them. And, at least it's not Anfield this time. We're going to play them at home. We will win that game. I'm sure of it. And City have a tough run. Okay, they've got some big games coming up. You're going to laugh, but they have to play Tottenham. You will laugh, I know. But Tottenham regularly beat City. Just saying, if there's one game that can kind of surprise you, it might be that one. So we will see. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed my review of today's game. Well done, Arsenal. 15 wins from 20. I'd say that's pretty damn good.